Welcome back to the R-Rated Podcast. The R-Rated Podcast.
Welcome back to the R-Rated Podcast. Today's guest is Louis Soriano.
That's me.
And he is an actor and a model.
One of those.
Yeah,
very rare nowadays, right?
Very rare. So, quick question. Where are you from?
Okay, originally from the Philippines. I was born in the Philippines.
Oh, you were actually born in the Philippines?
I was born in the Philippines,
Oh,
yeah.
shit,
I've
okay.
never been back, which sucks.
Oh.
But raised in San Diego.
Love San Diego. I used
San
to live
Diego's
there for a little
amazing.
bit.
Oh, you did? Nice.
Yes.
Yeah, what part?
Near Mesa. So,
Oh,
it was
so
like,
you were
it
with
was the
all my
suburbs.
people.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Manila Mesa. That's what they
Yes.
call it. It's all Filipinos. It's just like literally just all Filipino people. So I didn't live there. I lived in...
You're like, I didn't live there, but you did.
Yeah, I know, exactly. You're more Filipino than me, apparently. I lived in military housing. My dad was in the military.
Yeah.
He was actually a Navy SEAL, which is kind of crazy. You don't
And what is that like growing up? Like, because you're always moving, right?
No, so
You're
there's only 2 SEAL bases in the U.S.
San Diego
and Virginia.
Oh,
So
okay,
luckily,
so
my dad was a West Coast SEAL, which is all like a little knowledge. It's all like the odd numbers. So it's 1, 3, 5, 7. I'm not sure if there's a 9.
Okay.
They add numbers, but yeah.
Okay.
So like it's like then all the even numbers 2, 4, and including SEAL Team 6 is also in Virginia.
Okay.
So
Cool.
yeah,
Didn't
so
know
I
that.
stayed on the West Coast, and then so that was kind of my
Did
vibe.
you ever think that was going to be your path? Because like your father was doing that. Like, did you think maybe?
Actually, yeah. I mean, that was like the dream when I was a kid. Like, I was
Oh.
like, I didn't really understand it when I was
this
young.
is juicy.
So when I was young, I like, Navy. I didn't know what that meant to be
Right.
a Navy SEAL.
Right.
I thought I was like, my dad's in the Navy, and
Yeah.
that's blah blah blah.
Right.
But as I think it's funny because I think it was the Charlie Sheen Navy SEAL movie that had come out in like the early '90s or something, and I was like, I'm also old. I'm about to be 40, so I know a lot of people don't.
No, you're
believe me.
not.
Yeah, I'm like I'll be 40 in like
No,
July.
you're not.
So yeah, so like people don't
You're
believe that.
fucking with me right
No, I'm like an old. Like yeah. So I was born in
now.
'83.
Wait,
So
what?
yeah,
Louis, what?
yeah, it's Filipino.
Wait,
Filipino.
no, that's not even just Filipino. That's like, what the, are you Benjamin Button?
I know.
Like,
I know.
who are
It's
you?
crazy. I know. I was blessed.
40.
I guess, in that. Yeah,
No,
it's crazy.
Okay, maybe
So-
it's the tattoos too. Like,
I
I
mean,
know you're not
yeah.
showing too much of it
For
right
sure.
now.
Yeah, I have a
But,
lot
like,
of tattoos.
I straight up thought we were like the same age.
Yeah.
I'm 26.
26. My so full disclosure, my girlfriend is 26 too,
Okay.
and like that's like it's funny too because we'll have I'll get back to the other stuff too,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
we'll have conversations, and I'm like, oh man, you're 26, like you know what I mean? Like it's just certain
Before your time, I'm
things-
just kidding.
I know, it's true. I'll say that like there's like in certain movies,
Yeah.
music, lingo,
Like LimeWire when you're like illegally.
Oh my
back in
god!
the
I
day.
think
She experienced that?
she knows of it. I
Right.
think, but she's not like she wasn't there.
Yeah.
Okay, she wasn't there.
She didn't live
She didn't
it.
hear the booting up of the
Yeah.
that stuff.
Wow. Okay.
But,
So first mindfuck of the day.
Yeah. So anyway, so I guess to get back to the point with
Right.
my age, just to kind of put it into context. I
Yeah.
was Charlie Sheen movie, early '90s,
Right.
Navy SEALs. I was like, oh wait, I guess my dad's kind of cool. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So what does
Yeah.
that even mean?
Yeah.
And obviously, like as like things progress with like war and stuff, Navy SEAls are kind of like this, these like superhuman military beings,
Right.
whatever. Which my dad was like 5. Granted, he was my stepdad, but he was like 5'8", not
Okay.
very unassuming, not like very. I would
for,
compare him. Honestly, I would compare him to Tom Cruise.
Okay.
That's what he
Okay.
literally like the built like. He's not.
Yeah.
It wasn't super big. He was
Okay.
like,
Okay.
but very like strong legs, big strong back, and he.
I would
would,
feel
you know,
safe with Tom Cruise though. So
yeah, exactly.
you know?
Like, but he was like, very kind, very
Yeah.
calm,
Yeah.
a little too calm sometimes, and that was the scariest part.
Like in panic situations, he's like just calm as fuck.
Just everything, and very hardcore Christian. So I grew up with
Okay.
a Navy SEAL dad and
Okay.
a very hardcore Christian father. So like, I didn't get away with anything. I couldn't do anything.
Wow.
And all my
Okay.
workouts, all my punishments were based around workouts. So
Is
everything was.
So now you like working out because of that?
I'm
maybe?
a personal trainer.
Right.
Like, I mean, obviously, okay, so I'm a model slash actor slash personal trainer. How many of those do you find in LA? Anyways,
Rare.
yeah, very, very rare. So I think that's where the fitness part of me was instilled.
You've always
because of
had
all
it in
that.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, sports and then just being punished.
Right.
All that. I was a badass kid, so like I got punished a lot. So it's push-ups and squats and flutter kicks and
Right.
these things called 8-count bodybuilders, which are essentially burpees on
Wow.
like steroids.
I need to do
it's-
that now.
Yeah, it was
Like-
it was pretty wild. I'll show you how to do those later.
Whoa,
It's crazy.
yeah.
But yeah, so that's pretty much my life growing up. But as far as like you were talking about the military thing,
Mhm.
I graduated in 2001, which
Okay.
obviously something big happened in 2001.
Right.
So my dad kind of didn't want me to join the military.
I get it.
And it's weird because you would think that, like, go serve your country. My dad was like, you're gonna die.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? You're gonna go to war.
And
So
are you the only son?
I am the only son. So
Yes.
I think there was
Okay.
there was a little bit of selfishness in there, which I understand.
I mean, it's like as a parent, like that's terrifying. Like, of course you want to like have your son go, and there's a risk of him not coming back, right? Like, that sounds terrifying. I can't even imagine that.
Exactly, and I think and he knew like the ins and outs of what the world was about to come to. You know what I mean? So it was like. I was like, okay, I guess I won't join the military.
Yeah.
And,
I guess I won't join.
Even though I wanted to, but then I also didn't. I tried actually joining the Air Force, but like I just did not pass my physical because like my knees were.
You didn't pass the physical.
It's weird because it was my knees. Like I had knee surgeries in like high school from playing basketball, so I tore my ACL like twice, and it was just so bad. So at that point in time, I could barely run, but through rehab throughout the years, I was better. But now my sister's actually in the Air Force, and she's killing it. Over
Badass,
there.
I love it.
Yeah, girl power. Yeah, she's killing it. So
I love. Okay,
yeah.
So you decided, okay, I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna do the Navy. That's not my path. Did you already know you wanted to pursue something in modeling and acting, or were you still trying to figure out what you wanted to do?
So yeah, I when I was 18, this is a kind of crazy story. I'm gonna tell you a quick crazy
I love
story.
crazy stories.
So I turned 18 again, my dad. It's always gonna come back to like my dad being an
Love
ACL.
it.
So 18, that was the deal. Obviously 9/11 happens, right? So my dad gets these crazy orders to go, I don't know, fight crime over like in overseas.
Right.
But he could only essentially take like my mom and like my little sister for some reason. At least that's what I was told, right? So my little sister, she was like 12 years old at the time. So I'm 18. My dad essentially says, look, you need to like figure out your life on your own. And I'm like, again, this is in San Diego. So 18 rolls around. I'm 18. They leave the country. That was in 2001.
Wow.
Now,
and you're not scared. You're not like, mom, like take.
Oh no,
like,
no. There was like I didn't know what was about to happen. I'm about to blow your mind.
Okay. Yeah.
So 18 happens. They leave, and I think at that point in time I was under the assumption that like I would see them soon.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna do a quick time jump. So the next time I saw my family was in like 2000. Next time I saw like my mom actually was like 2013. I've only seen my dad twice in the last 21, 22 years.
Wow.
So, and I'll tell you why. So, 2001 happens, they leave, blah blah blah. Now I don't see like again, don't even really even talk to my parents that much.
Yeah.
And I think back in the day, it wasn't like I can hop on like a cell phone, just call them. They're like in Guam. They're jumping around from like Guam, Malaysia, Indonesia, all these places, right? So it wasn't like there was like I guess iMessage them and all this stuff. It was just different. Now. It was different back then. Okay,
totally different.
Back in my day.
Right.
Anyway, so check this. So the 2000. And again, so at this point in time, like you said, like trying to figure out stuff, like modeling and acting wasn't even in the cards for me because I was like, I was poor. I didn't have any family here. I was homeless. I was living in my car for like a good 3 or 4 years. Yeah. I didn't have really anything of substance. So then I through happenstance, I got into music actually. So I started essentially interning at a radio station in San Diego. So actually, it wasn't even interning. It was something called the Boy Toys of the Summer. I got to wear a tank top and talk to girls for the summer.
Oh,
and then they kept me on throughout. They kept me on after the summer, and I was able to like work in promotions. So essentially, setting up the tents, doing like the on the mic stuff, getting people riled up, the crowds. Yeah. Anyways, so that's how I got into radio, and then I was able to from there move to LA. To get a radio job at Kiss FM. So one of my good friends is Sissany, who's the morning show host, was Ryan Seacrest, and I moved her, like I drove her U-Haul, and then I moved her up here, and then she got me a job at Kiss, and that's how I got into radio here. And obviously, at this point in time, now I am thinking like, okay, I'm moving to LA. Like I've always wanted to like pursue acting. But again, growing up, my parents again very Christian, so I wasn't able
like
to
that wasn't like a normal thing.
No, it wasn't. It was ungodly.
Right. It was
you don't
like
do that. You don't go to Hollywood. You don't do acting. You don't do that kind of stuff. So they didn't
like you want to be a starving artist.
Exactly.
Like,
they didn't.
I have that stereotype.
Yeah, it sucks. You're Filipino. You're gonna be a nurse. You're gonna be a nurse. But no.
Did you ever think about being a nurse?
I actually. You know what? I did. I went to medical. I did medical assistant. School, like the certification. I became a phlebotomist. So I did phlebotomy for a while.
That's the blood.
Yeah, you draw the blood. I was really good at it. Only thing was
I would pass out.
No, it wasn't the blood. It was the smells of the hospital. Like there's like I would go. I'd be the ones going to like the ER, going to like the geriatrics, all this stuff. Yeah. It was just the smell. I couldn't handle it. I was like, I can't.
No, I'm like, bless all the nurses and doctors.
Oh, 1,000,000%. I couldn't
do that. That's amazing that they
the things that they have to see and endure and so I was out. And then so music was a thing. I moved to LA. Again, at this point in time, now it's been like 11 12 years since I've seen my family, really talked to them, whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Wow.
So then, this is where it gets wild.
Yeah.
So then I finally am like in like the talking. So 2011 happens. My parents divorce actually. And I do an email. I find out through an email my parents divorce. It kind of
sucks.
sucks.
Oh my god, that's so intense.
Yeah, very intense. Like I haven't seen them in so long, so it's just like wow, this sucks. And I felt bad for my mom. And now my mom is actually going to move back to the States, move to South Carolina because my little sister, who I hadn't seen since she was 12 years old, is now
and is like fully grown up.
She's a grown woman going to college at a Christian university like in South Carolina. And so now I'm able to at least talk to my mom on the phone, right? So like now I don't know how long has passed since my parents divorced, but now I'm talking on the phone with my mom, and she's just like, again, also full my dad that raised me, my stepdad. Yeah. So when I was born, my real biological father was I guess in the Marine Corps, and he through some I don't really understand or know, had to go, and me and my mom were left in the Philippines, and I don't know what happened, but that's what happened. Met this other father who raised me. Stepped in. Yeah, exactly. Props. So now I'm talking to my mom, and she's like, hey, I just want to let you know that I found your real father on Facebook. I'm like, whoa, that's crazy. Now, granted, I just had moved from San Diego to LA, right? Okay. She's like, I found your father on Facebook, and he lives in San Diego. I'm like, oh wow, that's crazy.
Yeah,
I know nothing about him. I know nothing about him, name, nothing like that. So he's like, okay. So that's crazy. I was like, well, how that happened. So I just found him, blah blah. We're kind of talking on Facebook. I just want to let you know. I'm like, okay, cool. I don't really think anything of it. Right. I don't even have any questions at this point in time. I'm just like,
you didn't really care.
I'm just trying to figure out my own life. Okay. Because again, like not having your family, like your parents around for so long, like literally all my 20s. You're
used to being alone. Yeah. And you're like, I'm independent. I don't need to.
At this point, I'm 30 now. Else. Yeah. They left at 18. I'm 30 now. I'm like, I'm a man. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. I still look like a boy, but I'm a man. So then maybe like, I don't know, a couple weeks pass, I'm talking to my mom, and she's like, hey, I've been talking to your little father, and he actually wants to fly me from South Carolina to San Diego and have dinner with him, and he would like for you to drive down and meet him. Again, this will be the first time I see my mom in like 12 years, okay?
Yeah, that's
and this is the first time I ever meet my real father.
Shit. Okay.
So I take the drive down to San Diego. I'd see my mom for the first time, like I said, in like a dozen years. How was that? You know what's funny is I wasn't as emotional as I thought I was going to be. It was like very like, it was just kind of like, I don't know how to explain it. It was just like, I was already my own person, you know what I mean? And like, and I know my mom had gone through a lot too. And even with like meeting like my real father.
But so did you, like.
And I think that's what it was.
As, like, I feel like I don't want to speak for you, but I feel like if I was in that situation, I would have like a little bit of like resentment, like you kind of left me behind and like. Yeah.
I had to work through that. Yeah, I'm still working with that. Yeah. Mostly not from on my mom's side, but from like my dad's side, the one that raised me. Like, I still have a lot of like ill.
Right, because you were a child, like you're a child, even when you were teenagers, like you're so young, like you still need your parents around. It's nice to have their advice and like have that support. So,
for sure.
Wow, that's okay. So you see your mom.
So I meet my mom. I see my mom first time. Meet my real father, and I'm like talking to him.
Did he look like you?
No, not really. He's white. He's a white guy. Like he was like, you know what I mean? Like he was like, just like a middle.
So you didn't like recognize him right away?
Not really. I never really had this like. I didn't.
Like it wasn't like dad.
I couldn't see it until like I found like later on. I did see like I found a picture of him when he was younger, and I was like, oh, I see it now.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, cause my mom's full Filipino, and my dad's obviously like white European, like that vibe. Italian.
Yeah, you have that fun mix.
Very cool mix. Awesome. And then, so we're like talking, and everything's fine, and and pretty much we're wrapping up this dinner. And he was like, "Do you have any other questions for me?" And I was like,
I kind of like, let me. I don't know where to start.
I really had one. And the only question I asked was just like, "What happened?" You know what I mean? I was like, "What happened? Why was I like, me and my mom left the Philippines or whatever?"
Literally. Or whatever.
Yeah. And
like, I'm not your son.
And he essentially just kind of broke it down to like, I was a young kid in the Marine Corps. I had, you and with your mom, and I got back to the States. And I think the gist of it was he ended up getting somebody else pregnant and stayed back to like raise them and be married, right? So which is fine. I get it. You're 21, 22 years old. I honestly did it. Like I was just like did it because as like I know it sounds dumb, but like I get it. You're a 21, 22-year-old child in the military. Like you're a kid. Like, I don't take it personally. I don't think it was like I don't want you. It's just I don't see it that
can't maybe support.
He doesn't even know me. Like I was like, you know what I mean? Anyway, so all I heard in that whole sentence when he told me that was like, oh, you had 2 daughters. So I was like, that means I have 2 sisters. And she goes, yes, you have 2 sisters here that live in San Diego. Yeah. Right. 2 half sisters. So I'm like, oh, that's crazy. So
How
we
did that
wrap
make
up.
you feel? Was that more weird to you, or
It was just I was interested. So I was
Okay.
like, I grew up with 2 sisters already
right.
too. So I was
Right.
like, oh, I have 2 other sisters I never even knew about. That's kind of cool.
wow? Yeah.
So then we, he gives me their names, and I go on like Facebook when I get home, and me and like my sisters have like, well, specifically one of my sisters we have like 10, 15 mutual friends on Facebook. I'm like,
oh my
okay, this
god,
is
were you
weird.
guys like?
And not even just mutual friends of like it's a very like San Diego's a very small like,
Yeah.
but
yeah.
but everyone's in the industry.
Yes.
Was in some capacity.
Right.
Specifically the music industry. So I was like, oh, and then it's like I have to like. I either have ran into her or I know her because she's like the circle was too small.
Right.
Anyway, so that which I thought was kind of crazy.
Right.
So-
that is crazy.
And not only that, I was like tagged in a picture
Okay.
with her because at the time my girlfriend my girlfriend at the time had a best friend who was like her coworker at this
Oh my
nightclub.
god.
So we all had partied one time, and I just happened to be in this picture with my sister that I didn't know was my sister, right?
Oh
Isn't
my!
that
You hear about
wild?
this in the movies, like
Yeah.
your life needs to be a fucking
Yeah.
movie.
Oh,
Like,
just wait.
Write a script.
It gets
please.
crazier. So and better. So like so that happened. So then my dad, like, he was like, hey, you reached out to me. I think it was like, hey, if I tell, he was like, if I meant to tell your sisters about you and everything,
Yeah.
and they want to meet you, would you be
Would you
down
be
to meet them?
willing?
I was like, yeah, of course. So I don't know how long, maybe like a month, maybe 2 months passed by. I'm not sure how long.
Yeah.
He tells them, and apparently, they I don't know what their reaction was. I think now that I've talked to them since then, obviously, and their reaction was they assumed I was a child. They thought he had an affair and he had a son that
And
was
then
like
this,
a baby. But they didn't
Handsome grown-ass
realize
man comes in
it
and
was
you're
like a
what the
30-year-old like dude. Like they're like, wait, what? So I meet them. They're fucking great. They're awesome. They're half Korean, so he obviously my dad had a side. He had the fever, and so they're half Korean. Beautiful girls, awesome, fun, just fun girls.
Right.
One thing about me is I don't drink. I'm really allergic. I'm so allergic to
You get
alcohol.
Asian, bro?
I get Asian sick. Like it's
Oh.
bad. Like I'll like it's hives and like
Oh.
red,
Oh,
the
shit.
glow, but like
Times
on
10.
and times it. Like I'm
Okay.
I'm actually allergic.
And that
I'll-
doesn't make drinking fun. Like if you're allergic.
which
and you're-
exactly.
like,
I think in my
that
early
makes it-
20s I tried to just like ignore it and be like, you know what, I'm gonna just
I had a
do
couple
it.
friends that did that.
It's not fun.
It's not fun.
It's just not worth it.
And I could see that, like, they're just like, yeah, this is great,
You're
but I
like,
could
yeah,
tell,
and
like,
just,
they were just lobster red.
Yeah,
not
lobster
having
red,
fun.
hard to breathe.
Yeah.
Like, dude, just don't do it. It's
Yeah.
not worth it. You
Yeah.
don't look. You look way cooler not drinking than you do drinking and looking like a
Right.
tomato. Like, it's just
Yeah.
don't do
Don't
it.
fall into peer pressure.
Yeah, don't fall. Yes, kids.
Exactly.
So I don't drink, but they drink. My sisters
Yeah.
drink. They drink like fishes. So I think they got the
Yeah.
drinking. They don't get the half Asian glow like I did. Anyway, so then. Like, long story short, I'll wrap it up. So long story short is, I guess he ends up telling like he's married at the time, so he tells his wife, and then like I don't know what happened, but they end up divorcing.
Oh.
Him and my mom are now back together. So him and my
Oh.
mom,
Juicy
after
story.
30 something years,
I'm running out of words. I'm like,
are like back together.
Mouth drop.
Yeah, they got married.
That's
They
awesome,
live in
though.
San Diego. They're happy. My sisters are all one big happy
You're all
family
back-
now.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like my mom and his
It all ended up working
yeah,
out.
my mom and his ex-wife are like
They're
they're
cool.
cool. Like his ex-wife ended up getting like remarried with someone in church. She's happy. My sisters are
Wow.
happy. They all have significant
Whoa.
others, have nieces and nephews.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. It still blows my mind that I think about how everything kind of had
Fell
to
into place.
fell into place. And like I said, like I went through some shit. Like I
And
went
it
through
was
a lot of
also
shit. And, like,
spread out and like
yeah.
I didn't know him, he didn't know me. We
Exactly.
didn't talk for like 20
Yeah,
years. And then like
yeah.
all of a sudden now you guys are all like one big happy family.
We're all one big
that's
happy family.
wild. That's
Yeah, it's
amazing.
crazy.
I'm so happy for you because
Yeah.
when you were just telling me the story, I was like, how is
Where's
this
this
gonna
gonna
end?
end?
Yeah. I was like,
It's great. Like they're my mom and dad.
Wow.
My mom's the happiest I've ever seen her. Like she is who like growing up. My mom was angry. My mom was an angry
And now
person,
she's happy.
and she's just like such a different person.
Wow.
I mean, she's still got that that strong
Filipino
Asian
spice.
Filipino spice. Exactly. I guess.
But we love
It's
that.
like it's very like Latin-ish. Like
Yeah,
it's
I know.
very,
I was like, reminds me of my family.
yeah, it's crazy. But yeah,
Like,
she's
Mom?
happy. Everyone's good. They just got an RV. They're gonna do some RVing. But,
Ooh,
yeah.
fun.
But yeah, I know it has nothing to do with like acting or anything. But like that's
this
kind
was
of like
very interesting, and I
Yeah.
like that you felt comfortable to talk to me about this. I
Mhm.
appreciate that because I think
course.
that's very important, and I feel like that also shapes us as artists and like creatives, and like I think this also helps with like what roles you want to pick in the future. You know,
Yeah.
like who do you want to represent? Like
Yeah.
maybe that little Filipino boy that's going through that same thing right now. You know, with like
Mhm.
divorce. Like
Yeah.
it's cool. It's just cool to hear like your background and
Yeah.
like really understand that you're not just like a pretty face with tattoos because you might get typecasted as that. Because when I first saw you, I was like, I was like, he's probably like
yeah.
honestly, when I met you, I thought you were really nice, and I was shocked.
Yeah.
I was like, why is he so nice?
I get that.
Because usually,
they're like, wow, you're really. I'm a nerd too. I'm a giant nerd.
Because usually, like models and actors, like, you know, and when they're more attractive, they're not like the friendliest sometimes. Not saying not all of them.
Yeah, for sure.
Them, but I've had encounters where I'm like, okay, like definitely can feel like I'm not on your level type of thing.
I hate that, dude. No one's that cool. And I think that when it comes,
nobody's that cool.
Literally, dude, you're not that cool. You gotta calm down. I think that's what it is too. It's just like, I mean, obviously, because I am a little older too. It took me a while to figure that out as well.
Okay.
Like, there was a time where I thought I was fucking cool, and then it just like life will like put you in your place. You know what I mean?
Brings the ego down a little. It humbles. Yeah,
and that's
the
like,
fuck out of you.
Life that's the best, and that's just when you got exactly, and just like and then one of the reasons why I think I even got so many tattoos was because I wanted to feel and be like,
you wanted to be,
you know what I mean, even though it's still like not the case. It's weird, but like it's kind of a facade, and obviously working in like the fitness industry now too kind of helps a little bit.
When did that come in? So like, okay, so after you reconnected with your mom and your dad and everything, you're in LA. Yeah. So what happened first? Like, what came first? Did it come? Did the personal training come first, and then like the acting?
No, it was actually the opposite. So it was more of like modeling came first. I still like do it, and then the acting kind of followed. And acting was always like my main my main goal, my main passion. Right. And then what I model, and that was my thing with that too. Is like I always had like a job. You know what I mean? Like,
of course. I mean, we pay our bills, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's expensive to live here.
So I was working at this place called Scam Artists. It's a DJ management company. Okay. And I mean, grateful for them for the opportunity to work, but it was really long hours, like 9 to 7, sitting at a desk. It's not my vibe. Right. And I half-assed my job. I don't even know how I
That's why we're all in the industry. Like, we're not desk people.
Oh my
like,
God.
That's just not...
It was the worst. So my boss, who like, he's a very, very big in the music industry and like notoriously just like very hard, like just a tough dude. Like he was just the most
skin.
Just not the easiest person to get along with, but like very successful, and he was great at what he did. And one day I think he just got like called me to his office one day, and he was just like, "Why are you here? Like you don't like what do you do?" And he's like, "All you do is like I'll come down." Yeah, exactly. He's like, "Yeah, I don't know. Don't want to make a rent." So like he was like, "Why don't you like be like a personal trainer or something? All you do is like you work out. Like I'll come downstairs." Like literally, he was like, "I'll come downstairs and you're doing push-ups."
You're like, "Thank you for the compliment."
I would do like at the office, because he was based mostly in New York, so you'd sometimes come to LA, but mostly in New York. So there was an office of us, and like during our lunch breaks, I would like run boot camps. Oh, literally, it'd be a little backyard area, and I would run boot camps with everyone, and that was kind of like I loved doing it, and I've always been like a skinny like dude. I've always been like long and lean. I play basketball, and it worked for that. But like, so I've always been trying to like get buff, just something that never really happened. But I realized I was actually really good at like teaching, so I would run these boot camps, and he was just like, "Why don't you become a personal trainer?" And I was like, I remember just being like, "You know what? I will." So I like bought like the certification package with the book and would study at work. Oh, you're studying at the... I would study at the desk. I'm like, whatever, I'm already not doing my job. You know what I mean? If you're listening,
he gave you the idea.
Yeah, if you're listening, you can't fire me.
Yeah.
Sujit, because I already quit a long time ago. Anyway, so like, so then I became... That's how I started. I just became, I remember one day I just quit my job, became a personal trainer. It allowed me to do more auditioning and easier to do, go to castings and stuff. And then when I did this back in 2017, everything was in person. So you have to go. I mean, now I can have a regular job and just audition anywhere. But it was different back then.
But like, so now that you've experienced both, like what's more fun? Like as an actor, like
as far as like fitness and stuff?
No, like as in like auditioning. Like what feels more
like in person? I mean, I'll say like, I think there's way more pressure when you're doing it in person. You got pretty much one shot. Right. Maybe two if they like you. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's like, and then you have that callback. Obviously, I mean, even now the callbacks are typically like, I don't know, because I've had callbacks where you're talking to producers on Zoom and Skype still too or whatever. But then, back then it was like, you'd walk into a room, if you got a callback, it's just the producers and it's people. Right. I'm like, who the fuck are you? Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, who are you? Like, you know what I mean? It's like, I know you. I'm the producer, cool. Yeah, who are the other 7 people in here watching me? Like, you know what I mean?
Producers
it's very like, it's very nerve-wracking.
No, it is scary.
Yeah, so.
Honestly, when I was casting for my short film, I was like, I would not want to, like, be on the other side of this.
Yeah, it's
I felt like
crazy.
safe and secure because I was like, I'm behind a table and there's like a row of people, and it was my producer and like my AD, and then like I think like I don't know, it was like 5 of us just to like be like, okay, for every department, so we know like where we're. But that's scary. If I was an actor, I'd be like, don't look.
And now you get
that's
to,
why I'm not an actress.
Yeah, and now you can do it like, take as many times as you need to.
Right.
On like you're at home and get the best lighting and like
that's why I don't go live because I'm nervous
like,
I'm gonna mess up.
Yeah, and it's like it's really it's that, so that aspect is better, but it also I think people get like a false sense of like. So like just a false sense of like how good they are because you're doing it so many times and over. But at the same time too, it is helpful because you think about it, like on set, you're gonna keep going until you get the right take.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
And you're gonna, if you're not doing it right, you're gonna do it again, same way you would do it at home. You know what I mean? And it's on camera, so you can kind of see. That's the part for me. I'm like, I know my angles now. I know how to look, and I'm able to like kind of like play around with it. But I will say that like, I think it was Killian. I did like a commercial workshop with him. He was like, I'm pretty sure it was him who said like, don't use your auditions as practice. Your auditions aren't your practice.
No, like that's
your
job.
interview. That's your job interview.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So and like I think I fall into that sometimes where like I'll like, oh, this is good practice. Like, no, dude, like I'm gonna kill it. Like, you know what I mean? Don't like half-ass it. Like,
no, I
know
want
your
it to
lines
be
and go
okay. I want
in.
it to be like fantastic.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, oh, like
so,
I killed that shit. Walk off with confidence.
Exactly. So I think I do. It's just like it's they all have they have like the in person and on camera. It has like their pros and their cons. But I think I think like, self-taping at home just is so much more convenient.
I feel like it's comfortable. Because I mean, you really.
It's just better.
Yeah.
It is way better. You can do it whenever you need to, and just
And you're not like you don't have all these like thoughts before in your head. Yeah, because like for example, I feel like when you pull up to an audition, you see like, oh my god, like everyone is like looks like me. Everyone has like brunette, like wavy hair and brown eyes.
It's
and
hard
like
to put those blinders.
Right, and it's like how do you not let it get? I mean, I feel like I would let it get in my head, but that's great that there's this option now. I feel like COVID kind of really pushed that, and now that it's over, I guess. I don't know. Can we say it's over? I don't know.
I mean, I guess the pandemic part is, I guess, over. COVID's just, COVID's here.
COVID will always be here, but like I guess the fear of like the pandemic is gone. So now I wonder if things will go back. But the convenience seems to be there.
Also, they're saving money. Like these, the brick and mortar spots. Like that's rent.
Oh, I know.
In LA.
I know.
Like, if they can just like have someone just send, you know what I mean? Send stuff over. I feel like that's like I don't see it being like I don't see it like ever really coming back to in that way, shape, or form. You know what I mean? Like even like I was taking a class. I remember I was taking an acting class right before the pandemic. Yeah. And like I think we had like I was doing it was like I think it was like an 8-10 week program or something. Right. And then we had like maybe 2 weeks left. And then the pandemic hit, and it was like I think there was like they were trying to tiptoe around. Can we still go to class?
Can we act over Zoom?
Yeah, and then we
did. You guys ever do that?
Oh yeah, so we did. So like the last 2 weeks, we did an acting class over Zoom, and it was so different. It was different. There was some aspects I liked because I actually got to act as like the way that I did it was like I'm gonna pretend that I'm FaceTiming this person or whatever the scene calls for, and that's just how I'm gonna play it. So I would pop in and out even. So I would like pop out of frame, and I'd have my line, and I'd like maybe come in and be like what are you talking about? You know what I mean? Blah, blah. You know what I mean? Play it. I use it as like a prop, instead of like sitting there and just having it, just trying to act and like in a seat, and it's just like that was just weird to me. But it was different, definitely. But I mean, obviously, like the curriculum is the same. That wasn't different. Right. But I think I do prefer going to class like in person for sure.
Yeah,
I mean, it's such
a team experience and job and like environment that like when you're doing it over Zoom, like something's missing there. Obviously like we had to like adapt, so it was great.
No choice. So
you literally had to. But now that things are kind of loosening up, it'd be nice to go back to in person.
I think most are in person. I think you have to get like vaccinated and do all that kind of stuff. They have but I think most classes are in person. I haven't gone in a while. I think I'm thinking about doing it again, but we'll see. Yeah.
So what are you trying to act in? Like, are you looking more in like short films, feature films, like reality TV? Like what's your vibe?
Definitely not reality TV. I can't tell you how many times I've gotten DM'd about Love Island and like The Bachelor, like so many, and I'm like, no, dude. First of all, I don't make the age cutoff. Like I think they think I'm younger. So I'm like, I'm not. I watch Love Island and I love Love Island. My girlfriend got me into it, and I remember we got to a fight the first time because it was like, man, there's always Love Island. I'm like, watch this shit. I remember just being so grumpy, and being like,
my boyfriend's the same way.
And like, and then being like,
But it's so juicy.
It's like fine, I guess we'll watch the second episode, whatever.
Yeah.
And then it's like, hey, can we watch the third episode? Like,
exactly.
I got time. Like,
Exactly.
you know what I mean? So,
hour, right?
yeah. So now I'm like, I'm the one that's like, hey, is there a new episode of Love Island on?
No, and I'll be watching these shows and I'm like, oh my god, is dating really like that right now? Like, like I think COVID made me like a little like an introvert. And I'm like, oh god,
no,
like,
dating. Oh man, that's I can't. Like, luckily, me and my girlfriend met like on set. So like,
oh cool. So
like
she's
an
actress too.
modeling.
Oh,
she's like a model. Yeah, she wants to act. So you know,
very
she's gonna do that.
What was the set that you guys met?
It was it was a modeling job for this Filipino clothing company. Called
Is she Filipino also?
She's Filipino too. Same. It's funny.
I
She's
love it.
half Filipino, half white from San Diego. So yeah, but she
you,
grew up
the
in
female
Colorado.
version.
Yeah.
Cool.
Except for 26.
Yeah.
But you know,
right.
Sorry
about that.
Yeah, no, it's all good.
If she's watching it, she's like, we're not the same.
Yeah, no, trust me. She's like,
wow. Okay, cool. And how was that? Like working together. Well, obviously you guys weren't together yet, so I'm sure you guys like had good chemistry.
We did. Yeah, we had good chemistry. Obviously, like. I think that the age, I don't know that the age thing really had. I feel like I have a very young, youthful spirit about me, you know what I mean? So I think it throws people off when I tell them, like, my age. But, like,
not at all.
Yeah.
Earlier,
yeah,
like,
exactly. I know. It happens often. I also think that 40's not even that old anymore.
No,
like, I feel like back when we were younger,
no,
like,
it's not that it's old.
Oh.
It's just that, like, I just wasn't expecting that. Like,
it sounds old.
I thought you were fucking with me. I was like, okay, he's a comedian too, apparently.
No. It's funny because, like, I mean, if you were 25, 26 or whatever, and like 40 that does sound kind of like crazy. But yeah, we've been together for like a year now, so I was 38 at the time. So which is young. Anyway, so yeah, it was cool. We went on like a hike and we just the vibes were right. And she wanted to like wait. I was the more eager one. Like, let's be together and stuff after like 2 months. And she was like, dude, chill, like relax.
Calm
you know what
down.
I mean? And I was like, yeah, I love you. And she was like, cool. So she was like, I know, but it's fine.
I like her. I think we'd be
No,
friends.
for real. Like, I was the guy. I was like literally like, you know, the I love you after 3 months. I meant it. I don't take it back.
Right.
But it was just like
as long as you're not throwing it around to everyone.
No. And I remember saying I love you, like, and we were in a fight when I said it. It wasn't even one of those romantic. And I think she was mad about that. She was like, I want you to say it in a romantic way. And I was like, listen. Like, I said it to you because we were having a fight. We were in
like,
a disagreement. And that's what it was. I was like, look, anyone can say I love you when it's calm and everything's great and roses.
That's
but, like,
point.
what happens when you're, like, you have friction? I want to let you know I actually truly love you, even in this moment.
Aww.
And things aren't good.
That's
you
cute.
know what I mean? That's what
cute.
I wanted to, like, convey. She was like, no. I wanted the candlelight, I wanted the dinners, I wanted the beach. I was like, all right.
Doesn't mean you can't still do it, though.
Yeah, I know. So then we didn't I think we waited until like our 7th month of dating before we became official. Yeah. And that was new to me because I'm usually was like 3, 4 months.
Yeah.
5 months.
But maybe this is.
And it was great. Yeah. You know, then she didn't say
the right way to do it.
Yeah, she didn't say she loved me until like 8, 9 months later, and it was just like after our first date, and so. It was good. I think we're in a good space.
It doesn't feel like just like LA, like
No, that's what the thing. Everything in LA is so
fast. So you're an actor and a model. Like, are you dating other actors and models only, or are you like?
I mean, actually, I have. So before I was with a girl for about 4 years, and then we lived together, and we broke up. It was a pretty. Not the best, not like terrible breakup, but for me, I took it terribly. Right. I love hard. Breakups suck. We lived together. I had to move out. It was bad, right? So I had to find a new place to live and everything. Yeah. She was I guess model in the sense of like, she does print work. She's like a fire dancer and like she does like lira and all that stuff, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Got me into it. I had like videos of me doing like, fire dancing and stuff. Wasn't my vibe, but it was cool. It was cool to try. I actually was glad that I tried it out and everything. But
I can kind of see you doing stunts too. I don't know why.
Oh man, like that'd be sick. That'd be cool if I could do that.
Yeah, because you train.
Oh yeah. I do boxing, like Rumble boxing and Burbank open soon.
Oh my god, I almost took a boxing class with you. Like remember?
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, that was fun. Like she came over with some of her friends. We did do that for like. Do you still do that? Yeah, actually, I do mitt work. I have a Rumble boxing gym opens in Burbank in like a month.
Oh, in a month, guys, girls.
I'm the first one hired there, so I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, let me know. Awesome. It's super close. I would love to because I want to build some arm strength. Oh just because
it's a fun time too. It's music and like all this stuff. Yeah, trust me. And we use weights too, so we can build.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, actually, I went to the gym today. So
yeah, perfect.
First time in 3 months.
Yeah, that was good. Okay, so we broke up, right? So we broke up. And I'm still sad, but like I have a friend who's like, he knows like people, and there was a certain, I'm not gonna name her name.
Yeah.
There's a certain Golden Globe Award winning actress that apparently like liked me and thought that I was cute or whatever. So she, and this is when I was like when I was still with my girlfriend, I knew that she asked about me or something. I don't know. We were at a party.
Did
and
the
she was like,
girlfriend you?
No. And it was because nothing happened. My friend just in
told
passing
you,
was
like,
just like,
she thinks
hey,
about
she thinks like you. I'm like, oh, that's kind of interesting, you know. And she was like the star of her own show at this time, and then she was like, and all this and all. Anyway, so then obviously like a year or two passed, and my girlfriend broke up. I'm single now, but I'm still like I'm in it. Like again, I take breakups hard, so I was in it. Yeah. I wasn't ready, but my friend was like, I'm gonna sit you up on a date with this, I was like, okay,
with her.
Okay. So we set up this date, and she's like, okay, we're gonna go bowling. So we start texting, and we're gonna go bowling. Okay, cool. And now like we're bowling, and like the whole time for the most part, this was my job. We weren't bowling. I was doing this, taking pictures of her with all the people who were stopping her to ask for pictures. I'm just like, okay. Anyways, not the whole time, but I would say about 70% of the time. And excuse me.
And so you can't go to a public place with her. She was that famous.
Yeah, she was. Yeah. Even I feel like even now.
That is interesting. Like, no, I can't even imagine like dating someone where like the whole time that like you're like interrupting and like, hey, can I get a photo? And you're just like, I'm trying to get to know her.
Yeah, exactly. And we were vibing. We had a great time.
Like, excuse me.
I was killing it. I'm not glad. I was killing it. I was like, dude, I still got this. I'm good. You know what I mean? And I mean, to the point where she's like, do you want to come back to my place? So I was like, yeah. And then I got nervous. So now I'm at her place, and I'm just like, now I'm like, I don't know what to do.
Forgets everything.
So I do. So we're like there, we're chilling. I think we're smoking a little like weed or whatever. It's California, guys. That's fine. It's legal.
Exactly.
So we're like doing a thing, and then like, everything's cool. And like, I think it's just, and I don't know. I can't tell. Like, does she want me to stay? Does she want me to make a move?
Was she giving you signs?
I don't know.
Okay.
Even looking back now, I'm like, I think so. I mean, she invited me to a place.
I mean,
like, you know what I mean?
I would
like,
never invite someone back to my place.
It's like 10, 11 o'clock at night. I was like, what, am I supposed to do something right now?
I could be asleep, but you're coming over to,
So I was nervous, didn't know what to do. So I'm just like, all right, I guess I'm going to go home. And like, she was like, oh, okay, whatever. So then like, she like walks me out. I'm at the door, and like I leave, right? I already gave her the hug, right?
Okay.
I'm like, hey, I had a really good time. Like, hope to see you again, right? So then she's like closing the door, and for some reason, I decide to turn around and say, I'm gonna kiss you on the cheek now. And she's like,
at least it wasn't like I love you.
She was like, huh? She's like, yeah. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna kiss you on the cheek now. And she was like, okay. So I give her this awkward hug and this kiss on the cheek.
Okay.
And it was just I'm pretty sure she did the pat.
Like, okay.
And then I was like, all right, cool. Bye. And I like walk so awkwardly leave. No. And I was just like, wow, what just happened? So yeah, needless to say, that was our only date.
I was gonna say, have you talked to her?
No. I think we like texted for like a little bit after that, and then tried to set something up. It just fizzled. And she's like happily, from what I heard, she's happily married now or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, anyways, it's just funny. I was like, this is. I just
Right,
wasn't
that's
ready.
a cool story. Not everyone can say that.
Yeah, when you're not ready, you're just not ready.
Exactly.
So,
I feel like you were mentally ready to do all that.
And I think that with LA, like getting back to your point, like LA, everyone's just like so quick to find something, and I'm just like, dude, like.
And same with these reality TV dating shows. You see that it's like they literally like. I was watching Perfect Match. It's like,
is that on Netflix?
It's on Netflix.
I saw that.
It's all the people from different Netflix reality TV dating shows. They bring them on, like they're like, oh, let's bring this guy from that show and then this girl from that show, and then they put them in a house in Panama. Okay. And they basically have to find their perfect match to see if like they miss out or if they never. Yeah.
Oh, I think I did.
They get attached after like a day. Like. Literally after a day, and then like a new girl comes in, and then they're like, "I talked to him yesterday. Like you cannot talk to him." And then like, wow. And I'm just like, I get it. It makes good TV, but like, I don't want to be perceived like as like the girl that's like crazy because that's not even. I don't know. It's just like weird. It's just like too much, and I'm like, LA like loves to, or I don't know if it's just LA, but like the reality TV like love shows really.
The culture.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, it kind of isn't, like, genuine in a way. It's not, like, actually trying to find love. Like, come on, everyone that goes on Bachelor, like, they just want a TV.
And behind the scenes, I don't know what these producers are telling them, you know what I mean? Like cause drama, do this, blah,
I know
blah, blah.
I had a little bit of insight.
Oh.
So, do you know the show X on the Beach?
I've heard of it, never watched it,
Okay,
yes.
so I don't know if they're even doing seasons right now, but back, like, the first or second season, I had a friend that was on that show, and he was one of the exes, and he actually said that the producers will be like, hey, Lewis, like, you know, let's just say like Claire's looking like lonely over there. You should go talk to her. You know, she talked to her about that, like about the challenge.
Yeah, interesting.
And then it's also like you get more screen time,
right?
So it's like,
they're like, okay.
if you're there for that, like I'm sure you want screen time, so you're like, okay, we'll do it. And then that's kind of how like the little fights start and like the petty drama. And I'm like, okay, so like the producers are really like the directors. They're like in the ears of the contestants, and they're like, all right, go, like, you know, talk about this or bring this up or. And then, like, if they tell you to talk to this person and then they were talking to someone else, then it's like, why are you talking? It's, like, stupid drama, but it works. It's a good formula, I guess.
That's how it is, like, on, like, Love Island. Like,
it's literally all...
Yeah, and I love that show.
Temptation Island, have you seen that show?
I have seen that show.
That show makes me so angry. Like, as someone... Like, when you're in a relationship...
Like, dude, people,
it makes me cringe. I'm like, why? You're already in a happy relationship. Why are you going to go to an island with 20 single girls and guys to fuck up your relationship? It's going to get fucked up. Everyone's gonna get tempted. How are you not gonna get
exactly?
tempted?
And you're human. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how in love you are. And they ask you what your type is. They're like, "What's your type?" And they're gonna bring in exactly that to tempt you. It's just
and then if you get tempted, you're like the fucking asshole.
Yeah,
so
it's like, no, I'm not an asshole. I'm a human being. Like, it doesn't. Like, exactly. This is an island of temptation, and it worked.
And it worked.
Exactly.
So, have you ever been typecasted, and if you have, what is that role?
Typecasted okay. Actually, it's funny. So I get typecasted, and I go out for a lot of Latin roles.
Okay.
And I'm not Hispanic in the you know, the sense of being like, you know, Mexican or you know,
do you speak Filipino?
I don't speak it.
Okay.
Tagalog. So I don't speak that either. No, you're fine. Trust me, it's whatever.
I actually knew that, but that was I'm mad at
Tagalog.
myself.
Don't worry about it. It's fine. I'll say it too. I don't speak Filipino, but no, I don't. I don't speak Tagalog. I speak English sometimes. I don't speak Spanish, and like. Yeah, I actually was going out.
I don't speak English.
Barely. But yeah, I go out for a lot of like, you know, thug Hispanic. So I can't tell you how many times I just had to throw on my like wife beater with a little beanie on,
one chain on,
and like one chain, and like literally be like, you are, you know, you're Ernesto, and you're. And it's just so like I feel so like not
right.
What's the word I'm looking for? It's just not real. It's just not me. You know what I mean? It's not who I am. And granted, I know it's acting, but it's just more of like I don't want to culturally.
You're not always
Ernesto.
You know what I mean? Sounds that weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not always your role, and that's not necessarily who you want to always go for. And like, it's not fun to be typecasted, even if it is like the like strong guy or this or that or whatever. Like, I feel like you want to be able to have range, you know. And it's not fair that like these.
And I'm like funny. Like I want to play funny roles, and it sucks that like. I want. That's like what I want to do. Like any. Directors or producers, I want like a funny guy with tattoos. Let me know, like, you know what I mean. Like I love like as even with like you know, you have Pete Davidson, and like he's like tatted, and he has his sense of humor that he has, and like, and that's like what I'm not. I don't want to be Pete Davidson, but like I like. But his career is interesting because you know, he's a comedian who's tattooed heavily, and he's like. I mean, I think now, like he's dating everyone.
Like, dude, he has the hottest roster.
Yeah, he has the Riz. Apparently, that's what the kid was saying. Apparently, he has the Riz. So
a giant.
Yeah, I mean, there's that too. So congrats, dude. But yeah, I do get typecast for those type of roles. Mostly Hispanic role. Predicated on my tattoos and stuff.
Yeah.
It's hard. I don't. Like every like. I think every. I mean, that's not true. I did like a short film. Or actually, no, I keep saying short film. It's a feature film. Yeah. It's on Amazon. You can watch. It's called Return to Me.
Return to Me.
What's
the genre?
Drama?
No, genre. Sorry.
What is it?
Genre? Like.
Oh, drama.
Oh, it's a drama. Sorry.
Yeah, the genre is drama. Yeah.
I was like genre. No,
drama. It's because drama. It's the drama genre.
Okay, I love it.
So what's really cool about this film is, it's all improv. So we were given no script. It was just this is the scene, and do it. And so the whole film, no script.
How does that not end up like messy?
Being
not
terrible?
Like, yeah. No. Okay. Terrible is like kind of.
I mean, no, it can go really bad, and it actually didn't. Like I'm actually pretty proud of it. Like it is the heavy subject matter. I mean, there's the death of a baby involved, and like, you know, my wife leaves me because she blames me and everything.
And I'm sure that does happen.
And she's heavily tattooed. Okay. It's never talked about. We're not like the heavily tattooed thug people. We're just a couple that just happens to have a lot of tattoos.
Like, because you don't see that.
She probably has more than me. I mean, she's covered them.
But that's
great actress.
But like there are couples with like full tattoos, and I'm like,
they work in HR. They're teachers.
Yes,
like I don't like this whole like, oh, you have tattoos, you automatically a thug or you're a gangster. It's like no, man. Like look, go outside. Like tattoo culture is different. It's 2023.
Totally,
it's totally different.
Tattoos are like no, I know, but like even like I remember when I got my first tattoo, my mom was so upset. She's like, you put ink on your body, like it's never gonna go away. I'm like, I know. That's kind of the point, Mom. I did that on purpose. Yeah, she wasn't too happy, and now like she's more cool with it. She's like, yeah, I get it. It's like art, and like, but back in the day, she was not cool with it.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I understand. Like, I get it. Like back then, it was different.
So, what are you working on right now?
Right now, as far as like acting, I'm just kind of auditioning right now. I just like I have a manager. I just re-up with a different. I guess got a different commercial agent and stuff.
Would you say a manager is something that an actor should have? Like, should that be like a priority? Just because I don't really know the acting inside.
Yeah.
So,
no, you're good. I think so. It's funny because I actually don't have a theatrical agent. I don't. Wait, no, I don't. I only have a theatrical manager. He's sitting. He's sitting on my stuff. So, a commercial agent, a modeling agent.
Oh, so he
So
he's
the
finding
one.
everything.
Yeah, he's. I mean, now granted, like I could get with an agent too, but like. Right now, everything's fine as far as like auditioning is concerned and what I'm getting sent out. So I don't see the need to like really search. But who knows? Maybe I'm missing out on stuff. I mean, I've gotten the last couple of weeks I've auditioned for a few Netflix things that are coming out. I auditioned for like it's just auditions. This is not that crazy.
No, but that's cool.
But like auditioned for like that J-Lo movie Mother that came out.
Nice.
Yeah, there's a couple things, and it's funny too because I do realize how like the things I need to work on. Back to like your point of like the self tapes. Even when I watch it back, like oh man, like maybe I do need to go back to class.
Really? So like like when you watch the tapes, like what are some things that you're maybe nitpicking on yourself?
Oh, it's just so I mean I don't know if you can see it now, but it's a nervous energy thing. I talk a lot with my hands. I move back and forth.
Always talking with your hands, nervous energy.
I don't know. I feel like I do too. But I just feel like
I'm like
in auditions I just need to like be more centered.
Right.
Like, I also talk
would the
very
character
fast.
talk with their hands, right?
Exactly.
Like okay, I see.
I talk very.
See, this is why I can't be an actress. Like I would
it's a lot.
Overthink it.
Yeah, it's 100%. A lot. And I think that's the thing too. I think I'm overthinking it. I think I need to like just be.
Or just like, be the character.
Yeah,
So I love it.
And so there's that. I think that I need to like. Yeah, I just like you said. Yeah, I just be. I just need to relax. Like that's the one thing. I even look back. I'm like, dude, just breathe, bro.
So you would say like it's never like you can always keep doing acting classes. Like just because you've done one or like 2 programs or even 5 programs, like you still can get something out of each acting class or program that you're doing. Right?
Yeah, I mean
like,
I've gone like beginner acting classes and I've seen people who are like on shows over there.
Nice.
Who are already like co-starring or like you know what I mean on shows or have guest starred on shows and they're still and they're taking like the bare bones like kind of like just like to kind of like I don't know if it's to humble themselves or just like sometimes we even like so as an athlete like I play basketball, football, that stuff. Sometimes you just got to get back to the fundamentals.
Right.
And sometimes people forget that they try to get too fancy with it, do these things. Like, dude, just be fundamentally sound. I think that's where I struggle with is that the fundamentals of even acting and like even just like the blocking and just like the way you know what I mean. Especially when you're acting on camera, it's just so different.
Right.
Like stage acting is totally different because you can like. You
can
encompass it.
Exactly.
The
guy in the back needs to hear it. Yeah,
it's different.
Totally.
It's so different.
Do you prefer that or like?
I love the stage. Like I prefer the stage. Yeah,
okay.
I really do like the stage. I haven't done any theater in a while, but yeah, I do. I think that's something that I really...
Does theater pay as much as?
No, definitely not.
Okay.
unless you're like on Broadway or something.
You're like, oh hell no. Right, unless you're on Broadway.
Yeah, or like even like a touring production or something. But like like the small little like productions.
Like the community theaters. Yeah, like it's not. It's more
zero. Like nothing
it's for
to like very small. Yeah,
okay.
but it's all. But it's fun and like
exactly no.
Really
because I was like starting to. I was like working and I was like, I want to work on my own stuff because like when do you draw the line of like you're working on someone else's stuff, like you're doing all their work instead of like working on your own stuff for people to see it. And like I've been fighting this constant like battle of like balance. I'm like work on someone else's stuff or work on mine, but I have to pay rent.
Of course, yeah, exactly.
So I'm just like. That's why I like talking to other people, and I'm just like, tell me, like, how do you balance your life, like, in this industry? Because there's no like clear path. Like, no one can tell you, like, oh, if you do this, so
exactly, it's different. You just you figure it out as you go along.
Right.
You really do. It's trial and error for sure. Like you'll find what works for you and what works for others. It might not be the same thing. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Okay, I have 2 more questions, and then
please
we can be done.
Yeah, go ahead. I ask all the questions.
How do you handle getting a no or like not getting a call back from an audition? Sure. Like, does that ever discourage you? And if it does, like, how do you handle that?
Not anymore. That doesn't bother me all.
Oh, okay.
Like it used to. I used to get so in my head and get sad. My
Right.
girlfriend, like, she does the same. She'll get really sad in her head.
Right.
Take it very personally.
No, it's hard not to.
And
Like,
I just
think I would.
don't. My thing is, as long as I did everything I needed to
You
do
feel like
for
you
that
did your best.
audition, and I sent whatever I sent out was the best I have. If you don't like it, that's not on me anymore. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like that's on
Right.
that's you just want to write for it, and that's like it's not a personal thing. You just
Yeah.
didn't.
Right.
You just weren't right. You don't know what somebody. At the end of the day, like I think of it in terms of like I sent out mine. It was great.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
I killed it.
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
never
yeah.
hear a callback. I'm like I just in my mind I think of there was somebody else who did better, or somebody else who
You're
just
changing the way you're
Yeah,
viewing.
exactly.
You're not like, oh, I wasn't good enough. There was
Yeah.
just someone that maybe
someone just did it
a little
better, and that's fine, and I'm okay with that. And,
Wow.
and I don't know who
That's
that
a great
was.
way to see it, though.
You know what I mean? I don't know
Yeah.
who that was. I have no idea. And also, it's like you just don't know what they're looking for. It could be like the smallest little thing you just weren't right, and you're gonna end up being right at some point in time. And the one person that's in their house sitting off their tape that's like, I fucking killed that, is gonna be like, they're not gonna get a call back because I got the call back.
Right.
And, you know,
Right.
it's just a matter of time. You just gotta do your thing. Just
Right.
put your head down, work hard, and
Mhm.
just like work on your craft and just
Yeah.
do it. And then
Yeah.
just like. And then, because there's sometimes where I'll send off a tape and I know it wasn't good.
Oh, really?
And you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I'm just like, fuck, man, whatever. I just send it off. So I'm just like, whatever. You know what I mean? Just let it go. So I kind of approach
Has that ever
all-
happened and you did get a call
Yeah,
back?
for sure. It's funny.
Yeah.
There's one thing I did, and I was like, okay, I thought I did okay.
Right.
And I got a call back. They ended up like recasting for something completely different, which was a smaller role, but
Right.
actually a role that actually kind of it fit me
Fit
better.
you
And,
more. Okay.
and that's the thing too. You just never know.
Right.
Like you could be doing your thing, and
They pick
and,
you for
and they
something.
could just be like, wow, you're not good for this, but you're good for
Wow,
something.
you're not good for this, but
But
for
you're
this.
good for something else. Yeah,
Yes,
you know what I mean?
that I've
Sometimes
actually-
that might not
I've
be.
actually done that.
Yeah,
before.
and it
Someone
might not
applied and I was like,
exactly.
not for this role, but you'd be
Yeah.
fantastic for this role.
I think that happens to a lot of professional actors. I think like Jennifer Aniston went out
Yeah.
for Monica, or vice versa, something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, you're
And
right.
it just like you know what I mean, and then
And it worked out beautifully,
it
right?
worked
It
out.
all worked
Yeah.
out.
No, I don't. I used to take it personally. I think it was me, and then I realized there's just so many moving parts. Like somebody told me this before, and it really resonated with me. Is like when it comes to like production, anything. It could be
Yeah.
modeling work. It could be
Yeah.
acting job. Typically, the actors are like for the most. I don't know how often this is the case, but like a lot of times, the actors are the very last piece.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have art,
Everybody
you have
setting
art, you have
shit up.
everything, you have the
Mhm.
costumes, you have there's so many moving
Literally
parts,
moving
and then the very
Yeah.
last piece is the actor.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
They're
Like, okay, we need someone to plug it in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, I think of it in terms of that too. It's like I'm not that important. Like, you know what I mean? I just don't think of
Which
myself.
is
Just think,
huge
I'm not that
for you to
important.
say an actor to say that, because you do get that energy on big sets, not
Yeah.
necessarily smaller sets because you're still working your way, but like I've been on big studio sets
Yeah.
and it's almost like make way for the queen,
Yeah,
or the king,
yeah,
and,
yeah.
and it really feels, and then like, but then there's been some big sets where it's like really casual and they talk to you, like talk to the crews, the PAs, and they don't want to feel like, don't make me feel like I'm like some royalty
Right.
because we're
Yeah.
all doing
No,
this together, and I
yeah.
like that because it's true. Like, I mean, there's so many moving parts to making a movie, and like I feel like the director and the actors get like all the glory, and I'm like,
Right?
it's kinda
Yeah.
fucked
And
up.
there's writers,
so many-
cinematographer. I mean,
When I see the people like
sound,
screwing on the
like,
lights,
yeah.
hanging there, I'm like, he's literally
That's
risking
what I'm
his
saying.
life to like
exactly.
light you.
And that's the shit I see. Like I see them like they're the ones getting there way
Right.
earlier than me. Like you know what I mean? You're getting to set maybe
Yeah.
even early.
Yeah.
It's the set's done. You
Yeah.
know what that means? That means someone was up hours and hours
Yeah.
before you got there
Yeah.
doing this.
And after.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you come in there, you're like you're gonna sit on this thing and say some lines.
Yeah,
and it's just
yeah,
like
yeah.
it's just like it's fun and obviously that's your job and obviously take it seriously
But stay humble too.
but just stay humble.
Stay
and just,
humble.
like,
Don't forget, like,
yeah, and I just like
where you
people.
came from.
Yeah, also just like I hope people, like I didn't go into it with the mindset of like getting famous. You know what I mean? Or
Right.
being.
I don't
or
think
even
it's the
making
right way
money.
to go into it,
No,
honestly.
you
Like,
just gotta
I want to be,
have fun.
like, you have to actually, like, have passion for it and be like, this is, like,
Yeah.
something that I want to do. It's not, like, I want to be famous. I want to
Yeah.
do it. I don't think that's the right way to
I
approach
just
it.
love like it's just like
And fame's overrated. Like, do you
fame
really
is
want,
so
like, do
overrated.
you really want all these paparazzi guys?
I don't
and
know what it
like,
feels like.
I
Just
want to
like,
go to
I
the grocery
feel like
store for the
yeah.
rest of my life. Like, if someone takes that away from me, I'm going to be pissed.
LeBron just talked about that too. He's like, I just said something like that. Like, I wish I could
It's
go to
just the
Target.
little
He
things.
can't go to Target. Like he can't.
That
do
is so sad.
He can't. He'll never
He
be able to
can't go
just
to
walk
Target
into
and, like,
Target. Like he
Make
can't.
himself feel better and
Yeah,
just buy
like-
something that,
Yeah.
well,
So
you can
like,
probably
yeah,
buy, like, a sports car, but.
yeah, fame isn't everything. You just gotta have fun doing what you do.
Yeah.
Obviously, be good at it, and then like
Yeah.
and get better at it. I don't know.
That
Yeah.
kind of already answers my last question, but I was going to say, if there's anything you could tell your younger self, what would it be?
Oh, my younger self. Okay, I would say a couple things. I would say don't be
Drink
too
alcohol.
don't yeah.
I'm just kidding.
I mean, I found that
Sorry.
out the hard way. But I'll say just don't be too hard on yourself. You know what I
I
mean?
like that.
Like I think I just was like I was just way too hard on myself, and I like held myself to such a certain standard and everything. I just wanted I should have just been more. I don't know, just been more like in the moment and known that everything's gonna work out. Everything is figure outable.
It really does.
And I mean, I was like coming from like where I came from and having to deal with what I went through. I think that I guess that's what humbled me a bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I guess like you mentioned as well, like I held a lot of resentment and anger. I was angry, and I remember even being in my first like acting class. I thrived when we had like something dramatic. I had this
just little energy out.
And I was running back and forth on stage, and I could cry on cue, and it was just anger.
That's the beautiful part about acting is being able to release these emotions that maybe you couldn't release and show in like your everyday life.
For sure. It's therapy for sure.
Loki, this is kind of therapy for me, like talking and like connecting with people and just like telling people how I really feel about certain things that are going on. I'm just like, I had a shit day today, or like today was great. You know, it just feels nice to like let it out, like. I feel like we're so used to like suppressing our feelings and that, especially with men. Like, don't show your like, don't cry, don't do fuck all that crap.
Fuck that, I don't cry. I cry like a baby. I cried like when I watched. I couldn't watch. Okay, my girlfriend was like, "Let's watch like American Idol." And like I told her, like, "Look, I don't want to watch." I was like, "I don't want to watch American Idol." Okay, and I told her it's because like it's boring. I don't want to watch it. The real reason is I can't watch that show, especially the auditions.
No,
because it's always saddest. It's
like my mom died like yesterday before the audition, and you're just like,
and then like so I'm sitting there watching these people sing, and I'm just like trying, and I'm just like fucking
it
bawling
every time
and
too.
I'm just like, dude, this is why I don't want to watch the show. Not because I don't think it's good. It's just I'm gonna fucking.
They know how to pull in those strings.
Yeah, it's like there was a guy, like a grandpa, who was like holding in like his sexual identity for like ever, and his wife knew throughout their whole marriage, and then like she passed, and then he wouldn't talk to like his grandson for like a year because I think it was just because he was ashamed or something like that. And then he came out to him finally. Obviously he was cool with it. And the song that the guy sang for the audition was a song talking about how like it's okay, just tell me, you can tell me anything. And it was just like, and I'm just like,
it was so great talking to you.
Yeah,
I would love for you to throw out your Instagram handle or any socials
for sure.
You want people to follow you
I guess like my Instagram handle is the most the thing I use the most. I'm not like on TikTok. I'm old guys. I'm not on the TikTok. But it's Louis Anthony with the I at the end instead of a Y. So Anthony with the I.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on, and I will see you guys next week. Bye. Yay! How do you feel?
That was fun.
Right? That was so fun.